Fine, thank you. Now we have discussed about measurement and all. So in the measurement we had discussed basically what is measurement, why it has been derived, what is SI prefixes, right? SI units, its unit conversion, those all things we had discussed, right? System of units already covered. So moving ahead to the question part, directly coming on the question part which is remaining over here. So till here I guess we have completed. Till here we have completed in our previous class. Which of the following is an example of vector quantity, right? So be ready for IPL. I request you all to close your PDF, yeah, print out, whatever you are having with yourself. Just keep a rough notebook with yourself, right? And keep on writing the answers. After the class, you can mark in your worksheet, right? Or if you have not marked, if you are very truthful, then only you are allowed to open the worksheet. If you are not truthful, you have a doubt on yourself, you know, I may see the answers behind. So I request you all, please close it. And if you can be truthful, very truthful, then you are allowed to open the worksheet and mark the answers. Or else better to close and take a rough notebook, right? Or your physics notebook, that is also okay. Just write the question number and you can start writing the answer. Avyut, wish you very happy birthday, Avyut. Avyut, today is Avyut's birthday. Okay, Avyut, wish you very happy birthday. Many returns of the day. Restart. Okay, we'll start. Ready? Should I proceed on the next question? Ready for the IPL? Everyone knows the rule. Everyone knows the rule, no? Right? Everyone knows the rule. If your answer is correct, give yourself +6. And if it is wrong, then -7. Right? Fine. Vidish, check your connection if you are not able to hear me. Ready? Ready? Ready. Ready, steady and go. Be ready, be ready. After exam, no class. Yes, Abhinav, after exam, no class. Enjoy. Ready? Ready for the IPL? The next question is on the screen. A stone of volume 30 centimeter cube is lowered into 60 centimeter cube of water in a measuring cylinder as shown. What will be the new reading in the measuring cylinder? Right? Fast. Start commenting the answer. So, Riyansh is saying option C, Sayuni is saying option C, Suresh is saying option C, Priyansh is saying option C. Right? Okay, Suresh, I got your answer. Riyansh got your answer. Gautami is saying option C. Videsh, you can't hear me. I hope you have to check your connection because I am audible to others. Gautami is saying option C. Yes. Aaron is saying option C. Ananyasri is saying option C. 90 centimeter cube. Okay. Rushikesh, option C. Suresh got your answer. Priyansh got your answer. Virat is saying, oh sorry, Vihar. If we got wrong answer, then it is a wicket. Okay. Videsh, please check your connection. I don't know why you are not able to hear me. Because for others too, I am very much audible. Mayukti is saying option C. Nice. And one more request I need, I am doing from others. Please comment on my chat box. Will be easy for me to see your answers, right? Go in the chat box, search my name Akhilesh and start commenting over there. Very good, right? Maximum of you saying answer C. Okay. Prajanya, Nihal, Vikram, Agastya, Dhruv, maximum of you saying answer C. Let's see. Let's check this. So, this is question number 3, right? Now in the question it is saying volume of stone we can see over there, right? We can see the volume of stone, that is 30 centimeter cube. Volume of stone is given 30 centimeter cube. When this stone is lower down into 60 centimeter cube of water. In the figure you can see the 60 centimeter cube of water is filled. When this stone is lower down, right, now it is asking what will the new reading in the measuring cylinder. So this water, it is 60 centimeter cube. Now stone is lower down and the volume of stone is 30 centimeter cube. So we know that whenever this kind of apparatus is set, so in this case what is happening, the volume of stone, the amount of volume of stone which is dropped inside this, the water will rise up equal to the volume of the stone, right? The water in the vessel, in the measuring cylinder will rise up equal to the volume of this stone. So just simply 60 centimeter cube is the volume of water at this moment of time. When this stone is dropped inside it, right? When this stone is dropped inside it and the volume of stone is 30 centimeter cube, so water will rise by 30 centimeter cube. So the new reading in measuring cylinder will be 60 centimeter cube plus 30 centimeter cube. So which one is the correct answer? 90 centimeter cube. Those who have given the right answer, give yourself plus 6. And if it is wrong, then you know, wicket, or you can say minus 7. So here we cannot play like we will take wicket or all, right? No catch out, nothing. So what we'll do, we'll give minus 7. Minus 7. Sir, minus 7? It's very much, yeah. Minus 7 for wrong answers. So those who do not understand, just listen once again. Volume of stone is given, which is 30 centimeter cube, right? And volume of water in cylinder is 60 centimeter cube. Volume of stone is 30 centimeter cube, volume of water in cylinder is 60 centimeter cube. It is asking what will be the new reading in the measuring cylinder if that stone is lower down in the cylinder. So the new volume in the measuring cylinder will be this 60 centimeter cube volume of this water in the cylinder plus 60 centimeter cube plus, when we are lowering this stone, the volume of stone is 30 centimeter cube. So because of its volume, the water will rise here in the cylinder by 30 centimeter cube, right? So new volume, new reading, not new volume, it is new reading. New reading. New reading will be 90 centimeter cube. I hope it's clear to everyone. Just clear to everyone? The thread is massless. V1. You are asking what about volume of thread? The thread is massless, right? It will not affect anything. Okay, great. Exam, who is asking? Dikshita. So exam will be on 24th, Dikshita, right? Exam will be on 24th. 24th or 25th. Out of these two dates, they'll give you you will be notified about the exam, don't worry. Most probably on 24th or maybe on 25th. Yeah, Vikram, I am going to the next question. Yeah, they can read your chat. Okay. Now, next, moving ahead on the next. Stop commenting, focus here in the class. So, ready, steady, and next. Dash is an example of a scalar quantity. Dash is an example of a scalar quantity. Option A, velocity. Option B, force. Option C, distance. Option D, acceleration. Fast, within seconds. So Lohit is saying option C, Rutvika is saying option C, and Syamla is saying option C, Prajanya is saying option C, Vikram Tej option B, Prajanya option C. Got your answer, Prajanya? Vikram option B. Vikram saying option B. Sorish, sir, online or offline exam? Exam will be online, Sorish. Exam will be online. Ritika, answer B. Akshit, answer C. C. Prajanya C. Okay, got your answer. Abhiram is saying option A. Rudviram is saying force. Force means option B. Force you don't know about. Okay. So I'm receiving the mixed type of answers for this question. Someone is saying force, someone is saying distance, someone is saying velocity, and one of you have commented like acceleration, right? So the problem is, we don't know, sir, what is force, we don't know, sir, what is velocity, and we don't know about acceleration, right? So it is very hard for us to judge which one among the following is the scalar quantity. है ना? Right now? Maximum of you are not aware with the force, velocity and acceleration, right? So those who are not aware, for them, I'll let you know. Requesting you all, sit concentrately, channelize your energy over here in the class. Now see, starting with velocity. So for understanding velocity, you should have understanding of displacement. Even though in the next chapter there is these concepts, distance and displacement, speed, velocity, acceleration. But now only I am teaching you. I'll take 5 minutes, very shortly I will explain, right? Let me finish this, then I'll explain about those basics again in tomorrow's or after tomorrow's class. But we have to do the revision also, right? Because your exam is there, the syllabus. We have to do the revision of this syllabus as well. So very shortly I'll explain you. These are the concepts which is there in the next chapter, motion and time. But listen now. So velocity. With the formula, in the previous classes also we had discussed, velocity is equal to displacement by time, right? Velocity is equal to displacement by time. This is what we had discussed. Now what is displacement? Displacement is the shortest distance between initial and final point, right? Example I have given in this class, I guess, just again, imagine a situation, your school is at least 10 kilometers away from your home. Suppose here is your school, I have given the same example, I guess. Your home, somewhere here is your school, right? And you are daily traveling this much distance to reach to your school. This is the path of the road through which you used to reach to your school every day, right? Just imagine this is 1 kilometer, this is 1 kilometer, this is 3 kilometer, this is again 1 kilometer, and this is also 1 kilometer. I have taken small numbers just for understanding, right? So you can see the total length of path. Distance means the total length of path covered by your body. So you are traveling from your home to your school through this road, by traveling through this road. Now how much kilometer you are traveling? 1, 2 plus 3, 5 plus 2, 7. So total length you are traveling every day is 7. So distance you are covering from your home to school is 7 kilometer. Listen. I am teaching you the concepts of next chapter as well in this question. So please listen. Distance. So I hope you understood. The total length of path covered by a body is distance, right? Next, displacement. As I told, displacement is the shortest distance between initial and final point. Displacement is the shortest distance between initial and final point. So as you are going every day from your home to school, right? Every day. So there is a shopkeeper somewhere in the between from where you used to buy some chocolates and some stuffs, right? Your notes, pen, pencil box, anything. So that shopkeeper is observing you every day. It's a situation you have to imagine. That shopkeeper is observing you every day. Yeah, this student used to come from this road every day, and he observes you by like 1 week, 2 weeks. He observes. One day, what happens? That shopkeeper tells you, "Ki beta, why you are traveling this much distance every day?" So you are thinking, "I am going to school, uncle, right?" So for that, ki why you are traveling? If there is a road also which comes directly from your home to school, means shopkeeper knows that road, but you are unaware of that. So the shopkeeper told that there is a straight road from here till your school, and its distance is approx 4 kilometer only. Why you are traveling this much length? Why you are covering this much distance every day? So you are unaware of about this hidden road, right? Shopkeeper informs you. So this hidden road straight from your home to your school, straight from your home to your school. This is the displacement. This is the displacement. This is called as displacement. Initial point. Your home is your initial point. Your school is your final point. Right? So, shortest distance between initial and final point is called as displacement. Right? And velocity is displacement per unit time. Speed is distance per unit time. Now, acceleration. Acceleration is change in velocity per unit time. What I told? Change in velocity per unit time. Acceleration is change in velocity per unit time. I have written the word change, right? Change means the final velocity minus initial velocity. If a body is started from somewhere, so its speed will be different, right? When it will reach to a certain distance, it will cover certain distance. After that, its speed will be different, right? So this is what called as change in the velocity of the body. So acceleration is defined as change in velocity per unit time. Speed is defined as distance per unit time. Velocity is defined as displacement per unit time. And acceleration is defined as change in velocity per unit time. So when I am using the word change, so your mind instantly should understand what does I mean by this word, right? If you want, you can note down this in your notebook. Final velocity minus initial velocity. This formula you can note down. Everyone. What is the meaning of all these terms? Speed you already know, right? Speed is equal to distance upon time. Speed is equal to distance upon time. Velocity is equal to displacement upon time. And acceleration is change in velocity per unit time. So change in velocity, the meaning of change in velocity means the final velocity minus initial velocity. Now those who are having confusion, sir, what is final and what is initial? So again, listen again. If a body is started from a point, let's suppose from point A. Body is started from point A. It is traveling. So when body is started from point A, there are two conditions. One, there is a possibility that body is starting from rest, right? So if the body is starting from rest, then obviously its initial velocity, this is the starting point, its starting point, speed at the starting point or velocity at the starting point is called initial velocity. So when the body is starting from rest, means its initial velocity is 0, its speed is 0, right? When it will travel certain distance, when it is moving, so after time, some time like 3 seconds, 4 seconds, yeah, 5 seconds or 60 seconds, it will have some speed. Like our cars, you're traveling in a car. So if car is starting from a point, so it's not like it is having some speed and you are Superman, you get into the car with that speed only. It's not like that, no? Car is stopped. When it is at rest position, then you are stepping in the car. right? So that time the velocity of the car or the speed of the car is 0. So that is the initial velocity or initial speed, right? When car travels certain distance, so after certain time, like after 10 seconds, after 60 seconds, after 120 seconds, I am saying 120 seconds means 2 minutes, after 5 minutes, it will have certain speed, it will have certain velocity. So that velocity will be called as final velocity. That velocity will be called as final velocity. I hope you all understood the meaning of final velocity and initial velocity. Right? Another important point. On a linear path, on a straight path, when a body is traveling on a straight path, right? When a car, when a vehicle, when a bus, when a truck, when a train is traveling on a straight path, then the speed and the velocity of the body is same. Clear kya? Ardhamainda? When a body is traveling on a straight path, then the speed and the velocity of the body is same. So in this case also, when the car is started from initial point A and after just 2 minutes, which means 120 seconds, it reached to point B, right? So after 2 minutes, it will have certain speed. So here it is starting from rest, so it will initial velocity will be 0. But when it is reaching at point B after time t, means after 2 minutes, its final velocity will be, just assuming that it is 50 km per hour. So this will be the final velocity. Sir, you have written U, you have written V. So those who are smart, they can understand. Initial velocity is represented by letter small u and final velocity is represented by the letter small v, right? And time is represented by the letter small t and acceleration is represented by small a. So we can write acceleration as a is equal to v minus u upon t. This is the formula for calculating acceleration, where v is final velocity and u is initial velocity and t is time and this small a is representing acceleration, right? Everyone got it? Note down this fast, then we'll come on the force. Note down this fast. Himansh, okay, I'll go on the next question. Just please wait, let me finish few concepts of this velocity, speed, acceleration, force. After that, I'll go on the next question, right? U is initial velocity. U is initial velocity. And V is final velocity. Small u. It is small u, not capital U. This is small v, not capital V. Small v means final velocity. Small u means initial velocity. T means time. A means acceleration. First, let me know, did you all understand distance, displacement, speed? These three terms are clear. Someone is saying physics is very confusing. Abhinav, it's not allowed. Ketan, it's not allowed. Please don't try to record this. Abhinav Jairam, please don't request for recording. It's not allowed. So Krishna is saying physics is very confusing, sir. Physics is very easy, sir. It's not confusing. The only thing is how you are understanding the concepts, right? How much you are able to correlate it with your surrounding. It's not very confusing. It is the most easiest subject, but for those who are able to correlate the things, right? Hai na? Right, Krishna? I'll tell you how it is easy. If I use the word distance, actually I use the word distance. So in general terms, in our day-to-day life, we are talking about distance, right? We understand the meaning of distance, but how to define it? This is what we learn in physics. We know, we understand the meaning of distance, but how to define it in words? This we will learn in physics, right? So we know distance is total path covered by a body. The total path covered by a body. This much simple it is called as distance. Now displacement. When it comes to displacement, So the shortest distance, displacement is a distance only, but it is the shortest distance of a body. What? Displacement is shortest distance of a body from the initial point, means from where it has started to its final point, from where it is stopping, right? This is called as displacement. I hope it's clear to everyone. Clear to everyone now? Displacement. Now, next is speed. So we know the meaning of speed, but how to define it? So speed is generally distance covered per unit time. Speed is distance covered per unit time is called as speed. That's it. We know the meaning of speed, but how to define that we don't know, right? So this is what we learn in physics. Physics teaches us how to define these words which we use in our day-to-day life. So speed is distance per unit time, distance traveled by a body per unit time, right? Now next, velocity. Velocity is displacement per unit time. Velocity is displacement per unit time, right? One more important concept. We had studied about scalar and vector. And what is scalar quantity? What is scalar quantity? The physical quantities which have only magnitude and no direction. The physical quantity which have only magnitude and no direction. For example, distance. Distance is always called in magnitude, numerical value. For example, the distance of your school from your home is 10 kilometer. For example, the distance of your school from your home is 10 kilometer, right? So when you are saying 10 kilometer, have you ever told that 10 kilometer towards east, 10 kilometer towards north? So you are not mentioning the direction. You are not mentioning the direction. The moment you mention the direction with distance, listen once again, the moment you mention the direction with distance, right? So if direction is added to distance, that will become displacement. Clear kya? Ardhamainda? If direction is added with distance, that will become displacement, is vector quantity. That will become vector quantity. Sorry, once again, listen once again. If direction is added to magnitude, when you are defining the distance, you are only answering that magnitude. 10 kilometer, 20 kilometer, 30 kilometer. This you are answering as magnitude. This is numerical value you are answering. So when direction is added to this numerical value, then it becomes the vector quantity. Otherwise, it will be always a scalar quantity, right? And what was another condition we had discussed about vector quantity? It should follow law of vector addition, right? But for now, you only focus on magnitude and direction. In further upcoming classes, you will understand about the law of vector addition as well, right? Clear? So you understood distance is the scalar quantity, whereas displacement is the vector quantity. Now coming on speed. So speed is distance upon time. Speed is distance upon time. So distance is scalar, therefore speed will also be scalar. If distance is scalar, therefore speed will also be scalar. Next, coming on the velocity part. So you can see velocity. Velocity is equal to displacement upon time. So displacement is vector because it is having direction. Therefore, velocity is also a vector quantity. Clear kya? Understood everyone now? Understood? Displacement is a vector quantity. Therefore, velocity is also a vector quantity. Now listen. Next, acceleration. Acceleration is change in velocity per unit time. Change in velocity per unit time. So here also velocity is there. So velocity is having magnitude as well as direction. So that is why, because velocity is having direction, that is why it is a vector quantity, right? And since velocity is a vector quantity, because of this only the acceleration is also a vector quantity, right? Clear? Arya Nandan is saying boring class. How is saying sir, headache sir? Yeah, of course. If you will not focus in the class and if your energy is distracted, you are not trying to understand it, then definitely it will be a boring class, right? Okay, fine. I don't have much time to explain many of the things, so moving ahead. Okay, right. Now coming on the force. Coming on the force. So we know force. You will study the formula. This force F is equal to mass into acceleration. In your further classes, you will study this formula. Force is equal to mass into acceleration. So since acceleration is a vector quantity, that is why force is also a vector quantity. For now, in simple terms, just understand speed is scalar, velocity is vector, acceleration is vector, therefore force is also vector, and only distance is there, which is a scalar quantity. So the correct option in this is option C, distance. The correct option in this is option C, distance. Right? Clear? Clear to everyone? Answer is option C, Tanmay. I can see your chat, Aksara. So I guess the two students who those who have commented like boring class, they have not attended previous classes, I guess, right? And today this concept which I am teaching, it's not getting into your heads. You are not able to understand it, right? That is why you might be feeling a bit boring, but it's not like if physics is boring, right? So don't worry about it. We'll have interesting class also. Okay, the answer you got, everyone. Moving on the next question, right? Okay, moving on the next question. The next question will be question number 5. An object has a mass of 570 gram and volume of 2280 centimeter cube. Calculate its density. Now it is asking to calculate the density. Those who know the formula of density, they can easily got the answer. They can easily calculate the answer. So within second, quick, start answering. And you know the rules. Start answering. Pratik, don't worry. You will understand velocity later on also. Start answering. Okay, Tanmay, I received the answers. Tanmay is saying option C. Tanmay, okay, I got your answer. Sadvik is saying next question. We reached on the next question, Sadvik. Sivendra, you'll get the PDF. You can once inquire with your principal. I guess it is shared on your parents' link, parents' number. The link is shared on your parents' mobile number. Vikram Teja, what is velocity? Velocity is displacement per unit time. It is same as the speed. Just understand velocity is same as the speed. When a body is moving, so the same, we call it as speed. When its direction is added to the speed, that becomes velocity. So velocity is a speed only, right? But since it is having the direction, that is why it is renamed as velocity. If you remove the direction from the velocity, if magnitude and direction combining them, it becomes velocity. If you remove the direction, it will become speed only. So velocity is also called as magnitude of speed, right? Okay, so when no issues, you can inquire. Suhas, I moved. Are I'm asking the answer, yaar. Okay, receive the answers. Priyanshi Singh option A, Suresh Singh option B, Akshi Singh option C, Rutvika Singh option A, sorry, option B, Akshari Singh option B, Akshi Singh option C, Adit Singh option C, right? Hansvi Singh exam. You will the information will be shared soon. Don't worry for this exam and all. Each and everything will be shared on the group, right? Or most probably I'll let you know what tomorrow. What will be the procedure for this exam? Aditya Singh option C, Samiksha Singh option B, Priyanshi Singh option A, option B, Riyansh option B. Okay. Nice. Maximum of you commenting option C and B. So I'm getting mixed type of answers over here. So let's see. Those who know the simple thing, those who know the formula of density and those who are good in calculation, they can easily get the answers, right? So we know density is equal to, we had discussed density is equal to mass by volume. We know density is equal to mass by volume, right? So directly mass is given and volume is given over here. So what is mass? 570 gram. And what is volume? 2280 centimeter cube. Calculate this value, you'll get the answer. Calculate this value, you'll get the answer. Right? So calculating this, I guess 57 to 28. So the answer which you will get after calculating this will be the something around 0.25. So option B will be the answer. Option B will be the correct answer for this question. Right? So those who have marked option B, give yourself +6. And those who have marked wrong options, and those who don't know the division, please learn the division also. Those who don't know the division, there is a possibility they may get the wrong answer or they may not get the answer. Right? So for wrong answers, you know what you have to do? -7. Yeah, -7. For wrong answers, you have to do -7. For right answer, +6. Right? I hope everyone understood this. It's very simple, directly based on the formula. Density is equal to mass upon volume. So this is the formula. Okay. I'll teach one more important thing. One important thing. If they want to modify this question, if someone wants to modify this question, suppose if I want to give this question in the exam, I'll modify it. How I'll modify it? Now listen. It is written, an object has a mass of 570 gram. So in place of gram, I can change this unit. I can change this unit. Why? Why I can change? So that it will become a bit more difficult, to increase the difficulty level. The units will be changed. From gram, it can be kept as kilogram. Right? Here it is centimeter cube. I'll keep this as centimeter cube. Next, in the options, in spite of giving options in gram per centimeter cube, see, all the options are in the same unit, CGS unit. All the options are in the CGS unit. In spite of giving these options in the CGS unit, it can be modified in SI unit as well. So these options can be modified in SI unit. So what will be the SI unit of this gram per centimeter cube? In spite of writing this gram per centimeter cube, they can write kilogram per meter cube. Kilogram per meter cube. Right? Clear? This is how they can modify the questions. Now moving on the next, be ready, moving on the next. 6. The water in a burette rises by a level of 16.1 centimeter cube when 10 identical ball bearings are dropped into it. So what is the initial reading if final reading is 36.3 centimeter cube? So final reading is given over here. Final reading is given over here and it is asking the initial reading. It's very simple, just a small calculation. Give me 3 minutes, then we will have a break, I guess. Yeah, it's 9:18. Right, after 3 minutes we will have a break, don't worry. Right fast, give me the comment. So Priyanshi Singh option C, Avyani Singh option C, Suresh option C, Nikshita option C, Adya option C, got the answer, very good. Okay, Gitik Srinivas option C, Shaurya is saying option C, right, good, very good. Sriman Singh option C, Samiksha Singh option C, Akshay Singh option C, Praneeth option C, Aroni Singh option C, very good, nice. Maximum of you saying option C. So see, everything is written over here. Final reading is given 36.3, right? And here it is, water in burette has a level of 16.1 centimeter cube is there. 16.1 centimeter cube. Initial reading is given. It is asking. This reading is given when the 10 ball bearings are dropped into it. Right? That is the reading when 10 ball bearings are dropped into the burette. So just simply 36.3 minus 16.1. This will give you your answer. 36.3 minus 16.1. So 20.2. Option C is correct. Option C is the correct answer for this question. Right? Now listen, those who have written the speed, velocity, acceleration, tomorrow again I'll ask those things. I need you all to revise and come in the next class. Right? Now listen, the last question, how many are remaining? I guess 2-3 more questions are remaining. So tomorrow we'll have the revision of this measurement, but before that we'll play IPL, we'll finish these 3 questions, then we will have the revision of unit conversion once again. I'll bring few more questions also for you to do it here in the class, right? So that's all for today. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Thanks for waiting, thanks for listening, thanks for being with me. Thank you, bye bye, take care, see you again.
Just take some examples. I'm just discussing what acid means, what base means. Okay, just normal explanation. Because acid base definition, we have 3-4 types of definition we have, but easiest one is, suppose we have HCl, hydrochloric acid. If you add this HCl into water, then it will produce lot of H plus. Since it is producing H plus, we will call HCl as acid. Okay. Next, if you consider H2SO4, it will produce H plus, again like HCl. So that is why H2SO4 is also acid. Now instead of HCl and H2SO4, if you consider NaOH, so in this case it will produce OH minus ions, not H plus ion, OH minus ions. Then it will be called as base. So always remember, this is first definition based on Arrhenius definition. Acid always produce H plus in aqueous medium, base always produce OH minus in aqueous medium. Just write these 2 things. Okay, this is fixed. Acid always produce H plus in aqueous medium, base always produce OH minus in aqueous medium. Okay, chalo, today's question, new question, let's see this one. Everyone try to answer this. Which of the following can be classified as pure substance? What will be the answer? Akshara, answer karo. Pure substance. Shanvistri, very good. Vanu, good morning. Lohit, very good. So all answers are correct. Someone. Vindhya, think again. So all of your answers are correct. So they are asking pure substance. This what is very important. Pure. Milk. Milk is pure? No. Here we have to think about in terms of compound. In milk, several types of compounds are present. Lot of proteins, protein molecule, carbohydrate molecule, fat molecule, right? Metal ions, so many things are there. Water. So it's a mixture. So it is a mixture. So it is not the correct answer. Next, sea water. From this name you can easily answer. Sea water means lot of salts will be there, right? Sodium, sodium salt, sodium chloride, sodium fluoride, sodium carbonate, sodium bicarbonate, calcium carbonate, bicarbonate, nitrate. Several types of salts we have. So seawater also not the pure thing, pure substance. Now if you consider ice, ice means if you consider ice cubes, there only you have water molecule only, right? Ice means only water molecules you have, correct? So that's why by default pure substance will be your ice. Now brass, it means copper and zinc. So these things, copper and zinc, it is an alloy. You have copper, pure metal, pure zinc metal, and you are mixing that, okay, homogeneous mixture. So that is also mixture, so it is not pure. Okay, so correct answer should be C here. Correct answer C. Okay. So many messages. Okay. See, brass, that's what I said, na? Brass is nothing but a mixture of metals. So here specifically copper and zinc we mix homogeneously. Okay. So next question. Everyone try to answer this. Everyone try to answer this. Which non-metal conducts electricity? When we studied non-metal, I highlighted that point. Just remember. Which non-metal conducts electricity? MNK, you have to think. Ruthvik, very good, correct. Sanvisri, correct. Akshar, correct. Aviram, correct. Tejas, correct. All of you are writing correct answer. Same. Non-metal. First of all, non-metal. And here if you see, sulfur, phosphorus, graphite, oxygen, all are non-metal. Now, electricity. They must conduct electricity. Always remember, metals are a good conductor. Metals are good conductor of electricity. Now non-metals, they are bad conductor. Except graphite. So in future we will study why graphite is the exception. What are the reasons why graphite is conducting electricity? So we will study only one thing. So graphite is having, in graphite means carbon only. So each carbon is having one lone electron. They are having hexagonal shape. Okay, like this. Like this, it will be big chain. So layer by layer structures will be there, and each carbon is having one lone electron, and because of this lone electron it can conduct electricity. This is the exception. Okay, so here correct answers would be C, graphite. And oxygen, then phosphorus, sulfur, they cannot conduct electricity because all other non-metals, they are a bad conductor of electricity. Only graphite can conduct. Okay, next, see, regarding exam, this first chapter will be your exam syllabus. Okay, and exam, I don't know, online, offline, they will arrange. If it is offline, they will arrange and they will let you know. Okay, just you focus on study. Okay, you just focus on study. Everyone solve this question. Noble gases are generally Abhay, correct. Very good. See, noble gases are generally noble from the name itself. I said another two words, inert. Okay, inert gas means which does not react with other things. So noble gases, first option, highly reactive? No. Solid element? Noble gases are gas. Here it is saying gas, right? How it can be solid? So option C also wrong. Now check here. Liquid elements. Again the same thing. Here gas is mentioned. We can see the gas, right? So here liquid they are saying no. So, and B option, if you say chemically inactive, yes, it is chemically inactive. That's why it is not reacting with others. That's why noble gases are called inert gases. Okay, so answer should be here B. Correct? All should be B. Means all are writing B only. Very good. Only one or two other options. Okay. Next question. Others still answer. Okay. Next question. This one. Everyone solve. Which of the following is not a compound? This is very important question. Which is not a compound? Answer karo. Which is not a compound? Are exam syllabus, this first chapter na, whatever till date we studied, that one. Second chapter will not be there in exam, only first chapter. Try karo this one. Which is not compound? Let's take one by one. Marble. What is marble? Marble is nothing but calcium carbonate, CaCO3. Just right. Marble is calcium carbonate, mostly calcium carbonate. Okay. So it is a compound, right? CaCO3, it is a compound. They are asking no, not a compound. So this is not the correct answer. Now washing soda. Washing soda, what is its formula? Na2CO3 dot 10 molecules of water. Sodium carbonate and 10 molecules of crystalline water. Just if it is possible, remember this formula, because in future we need these formulas. Na2CO3 dot 10H2. Okay, this is the formula, chemical formula of washing soda. Next, quicklime. Quicklime is nothing but calcium oxide. There we have calcium carbonate and here we have calcium oxide. So quicklime is calcium oxide. Last one is brass. Already you have studied, last question, copper and zinc. So here pure copper and pure zinc you have to mix. So they will be in their atomic form. So that's why it is not compound. Otherwise this is also compound, so not the correct answer. This is also compound, not the answer. Okay. So option D will be the correct answer here. That is not a compound. Okay. And for chemical compound there must be a bond formation. Means if you have two atoms, between them there must be a chemical bond. If you see first one, there is a chemical bond. Second one, chemical bond. Third one, chemical bond. But here there is no bond. This is and this is, these two are different. There is no bond. That type of bond are there. Only just they are combining. Physical means under heat. Alloy, that is alloy. Brass is nothing but alloy. Okay. Quicklime is the general name. See, calcium oxide, this chemical we call quicklime. Okay. Brass is conductor. Yes, metals are there, na? Metals are good conductor of electricity. Okay, chalo, next question. So here answer is D. Now this one, everyone solve. Metals produce sound when struck. This property is called malleability, ductility, sonority and hardness. Yes, only basic concepts of chemistry, that will be your exam syllabus. So malleability, see, if you have one metal, let's consider one piece of metal, you can convert that into a thin sheet. Okay, this is called malleability. Okay, this is called malleability. Now if you convert this one into a wire-like structure, like copper wire-like structure, so then that will be called as ductility. So sheet like structure, this is metal. So if you are converting metal into a sheet like structure, that will be called malleability. Means this property, metals can be converted into a sheet like structure, that's why metal is having this malleability property. Now ductility means metal can be converted like wire like structure, so this property is called ductility. Now sonority means if you just heat any metal, some sound will be coming, right? That metallic sound. So this sonority means that one. Some sound will be coming. And hardness is metal is hard, rigid. So from that we are getting this hardness term. That's why since metal produces sound, this term is there. So this is not the correct answer. This is not the correct answer. This is the correct answer. See, all these four are the properties of metal. All these four are the properties of metal. Only they are asking regarding sound. So which property is connected to sound? That is sonority. So answer should be C here. Answer should be C here, okay? Okay. Next question. Water chapter is not there. Last question, this one. This question, which of the following fails to meet the defining criteria of a compound based on chemical composition? So basically, which is not compound? By default, you can answer. This is very easy question, right? So criteria is compound must have that chemical composition. In which case, it is not following that. Or in other way, which is not a compound. So I said compound means always you have to think that two different elements must be there. Two different elements must be there. If two different elements are there, then only that will be called as compound. First one is compound, okay? So they are asking fails to meet, so which is not compound. So A is compound, B it is also compound, D, C and D both are compound. Only B, it is not compound, it is element. It is element. So that's why it fails to meet defining criteria of compound. Okay, so answer should be B here. Answer is B. Okay, up to here done. Chalo next. This is our last topic. After that, Sayani, what you didn't understand, just you have to mention that one also, right? Now, how can I know which one you didn't understand? Why is compound a pure substance? Acha, say previous question. This question or sonority? Say sonority means if you heat one metal with other metal, some sound will be coming, right? That property, that if you heat metal, it will generate sound. This property is called sonority. Okay? This property is called sonority. Clear? Acha, next, this one, they are asking fails to meet the defining criteria of compound. What are the criteria of a compound? It must have two different elements. CO2, it is having two different elements, so it is following. They are asking fails to meet, which is not following. CO2 is following. NaCl, two different element, following. H2O, two different element, hydrogen, oxygen, it is following. only H2, two hydrogen atom, both are the same element, right? So that's why it is not following, or it fails to meet the defining criteria of compound. That's why H2 is the answer. Now I hope it is clear, right? Okay. Next, everyone write this. This is very, very important, and this will be our last topic. Just write this. Everyone just write. Achha, impure substance. So till now we studied that pure substance, elements, compound, that part is done. Now impure substance means mixture. So mixture based on composition, we have two things. One is homogeneous, another one is heterogeneous. And underline this word, uniform. Homogeneous mixture is uniform and heterogeneous is non-uniform. Okay, so uniform means what? Same throughout, means it looks like the same throughout that solution. An example, salt water here. I'll explain it. Don't worry, I'll explain. And heterogeneous, non-uniform, it means different parts can be seen. Sand water, oil water. Achha, here what is it is written? An impure substance is a mixture of two or more substances combined physically. So you are combining physically. Impure substances have different composition and properties. I am giving one example, then it will be very much clear. Let's consider this is our water. Okay, now water is pure. So if we add something, it will become impure. Now what to add? So we have these two different situations. Okay, both are pure water. In one case we are adding sand. So sand does not dissolve, right? Sand particles that do not dissolve in water. So if we add, initially it will be roaming, throughout that solution. After some time, what you will observe? All sand particles will be settled down, correct? Now here we have sand and above part we have water. So we can clearly see, right? So if you look at bottom side, you will get sand. If you look at top side, you will get water. So that's why this is called non-uniform. This non-uniform word means different composition. So different composition means different substance at different place. At lower side, we have sand. If you consider higher part, it is water. So two different things we can see. That's why it is heterogeneous. Heterogeneous. Okay, heterogeneous mixture. Now if you consider, we are adding salt. What salt? Table salt. Salt or sugar. If you add and if you shake, then after some time that salt or sugar, that will be dissolved. Okay, that will be dissolved in that water. And after that, can you distinguish where salt is, where sugar is, right? We cannot distinguish. Everywhere salt is present, correct? So that is called uniform composition. Uniform means if you check this position, here you will get same salt or sugar. Here also you will get the same thing. Here also the same thing. So everywhere in that liquid, you will get salt or sugar, correct? Uniformly means composition will be the same. So that's why it will be called homogeneous. Homogeneous mixture. So this is the definition. And how we are adding? Physically we are adding, right? Physically we are just adding. Is it clear? Homogeneous, heterogeneous meaning? Diagram. What diagram? This one. It is just idea. If you draw, then after 1 month also if I ask you, you can easily answer that. Okay. Diagram, it is your choice. So homogeneous, heterogeneous, is it clear to you? Homogeneous and heterogeneous. Achha, now consider air. Air is homogeneous. Why it is homogeneous? So if you are sitting at one place, right? If you shift to other place, you will get the same air, right? That's why homogeneous. Next, oil and water. So oil and water example, you see, if you add oil in water, so this bottom side will be your water, let's consider, and this upper side, this will be your oil, right? So clear distinction is there. Oil and water, they do not mix, and since we can clearly see these two things, so it will be heterogeneous. Okay, is it clear up to here? Air is homogeneous mixture, homogeneous. So in your room where you are sitting right now, if you roam here and there, you will get the same air, right? Air composition will not change. That's why we say, in our atmosphere we have nearly 70% we have nitrogen, nearly 20% we have oxygen, then nearly 4% we have CO2. So why? How we are saying? Because everywhere that is the average percentage. Okay, that is fixed. Acha, Rutvika, just try to understand. You are staying wherever you are staying. If you just move 1 meter distance, will you experience the same air or not? If you say, sir, yes, if I move 1 meter, 2 meter, still I am inhaling the same air, it is not that, there is no difference in that, then homogeneous. Kacham. Okay. Okay. Achha, writing part is done or not? Just put me, give some thumbs up or write something so that I can understand. Writing part is done or not? This diagram, this flow chart, it is very important. Okay. Done. All are done. Very good. Chalo, next part, next slide. See, whatever we discussed, that part is here only. A mixture is defined as homogeneous mixture if it has uniform composition and similar properties throughout its volume. Example, fruit juice, this is very important, underline this. Sugar solution, alloys, these two are very important. Okay, these are homogeneous. In salt solution, salt particles spread uniformly throughout the water to form salt solution. Every part of the solution has the same composition and properties like taste, color, everything. I hope this whole slide, it is very much clear. Already I discussed this thing. Just complete your writing and let me know. Homogeneous means same composition, same properties. Okay, uniform nature will be there. An example, fruit juice, that is homogeneous. Then alloys, homogeneous. If you are done with writing, let me know. Which one is all, whatever you are observing, all the things you have to write now. Under homogeneous mixture, just write this. Under homogeneous mixture, write this. Right. Acha, Rutvik is asking one very important, interesting question. Soil water is homogeneous or heterogeneous? Say soil water everywhere. Soil means lot of things will be there, right? Lot of substance will be there in soil, and if you mix in water, it will be like not exactly sand water, but it will be similar to that sand water like system. So that's mean it will be heterogeneous. Okay. Writing part done. Alloy means, just now I said na, brass, copper and zinc. If you mix these two metals, you will get new substance. That is called alloy. Alloy is homogeneous. Alloys are homogeneous. Okay. Our example of alloys, I just brass na, copper, zinc, this alloy. Acha, ready but done? Very good. All are done. Can we move to the next slide? One minute. Now it is 3. When it will be 4, I'll change the slide. Fast. Now it is 3. Within 1 minute, I'll change. Weight stand homogeneous. See, if you see the difference, if you clearly see this is water, this is sand, then obviously it is heterogeneous. Okay? Bindu, correct? See, now Ruthpika is asking, lava is homogeneous or heterogeneous? See, if it is having same composition, now lava means we cannot expect that whatever it is ejecting, every time it will have the same composition. If it is producing same composition, fixed composition, then it will be homogeneous, but mostly it will not produce like that. Okay, so it depends on condition. So now it is 4. Okay, next, heterogeneous. In the same way you have to write this heterogeneous. So already I discussed it is defined as heterogeneous mixture if it does not have similar properties throughout its volume. So that sand water I said now, at top part we have water, there we have water, and if you consider this bottom part, here we have sand, right? So we can clearly see that boundary. Above part we have water, bottom part we have sand, right? So that's why it is heterogeneous. So different properties, it does not have same properties or different property they have. Okay, so example, sand water, oil water, sea water. Okay, in oil water mixture, oil can be lighter than water, forms upper layer, while the water being denser forms a lower layer, hence particles are uniform in nature. So not uniform in nature throughout. So just write down this one. Already I discussed this part, oil water case. If you put some oil in water, we can clearly see this is water and that is oil. So we can clearly see. So that's why heterogeneous. Okay. Yes, you have to write all of these. See, if you put aluminium in water, so you can clearly see the difference. See, if you put some aluminium in water, so aluminium and water you can clearly see, right? So heterogeneous. If your writing part is done, let me know. If your writing part is done, let me know. So now we are studying mixtures, homogeneous mixture, heterogeneous mixture. Homogeneous means just always in your head, remember example, then it will be very much clear. Whenever we consider homogeneous, it will be sugar water or salt water. Okay, because sugar or salt, it will be completely dissolved in water. And heterogeneous means you can consider sand water or oil water. Okay, so we can clearly see the difference. Acha, SCH, you are asking about milk in water. Regarding that, I have one question. I'll ask. During that time, it will be clear. Okay. Okay, so this part is done. Next. Oh, worksheet. Very good. Acha, now regarding this, since this is the last slide, after that worksheet questions we have, and we have roughly 13 minutes, no 12 minutes. So by that time, I'm going to discuss some examples. You have to answer that. Next class, we will solve those 10 questions. Okay, worksheet 10 questions. And then we will do revision. Revision means for exam preparation. So whatever we discussed till now, till today, or till next day, next class, that whole portion will be your exam syllabus. Next day, only 10 questions we will solve. So it will take hardly 10 to 15 minutes, right? After that, whatever doubts you have, till from that first class till the last class. So whatever doubts you have, we will be discussing that one only, and we will do revision. Okay, correct? So now I am going to ask some question, you will answer. Okay. First question, and you must write this example. This is very, very important. Milk. Milk is homogeneous or heterogeneous? Everyone write in the chat box. Milk is homogeneous or heterogeneous? Milk is homogeneous or heterogeneous? I know you have, this is some questions, some examples are there. Those are special examples. Okay, those are special examples. 99% people are answering wrong. Suppose you have milk, okay? This is your milk. Now, if I take a drop of milk and if we put it under microscope, this is our thing, and here we have that sample, and we are saying through microscope. Okay, through microscope. What will be observing? There will be lot of small particle, different types of particle, like protein molecules, carbohydrate molecules. Okay, so lot of molecules, different types of molecules will be present, and which will be visible under microscope. So that's why milk is considered as heterogeneous. Just write. Okay, this is the first example. So milk is considered as heterogeneous. Special example. Acha Bindu, you just tell me, whenever you are adding 75 ml water in 500 gram sand, so all sand particles will be similar, that water, exactly same amount of water they will get, entire container, each sand particle will get the same amount of water, whatever you are adding. Just think. Okay, if it is not getting the same amount of water, heterogeneous. It's a colloid. Very, very good. SCH. In future we will study this colloidal. Colloid also, last class also I said, no? So particles are not very small. It is not that much big. So it is like colloidal system. So colloids are considered as heterogeneous. Okay, colloids are considered as heterogeneous. Okay. So this example done. Let's take another example. Priyams, what you are writing? Next, second example. Let's see who can answer this. Second example, blood. Blood is homogeneous or heterogeneous? Write in the chat box. Blood is homogeneous or heterogeneous? And now this time, everyone is answering, correct answer, because they have learned that last example milk was there, milk is white, and sir is saying milk is heterogeneous. So similarly, blood, that can also be heterogeneous. I hope that guess is happening here. So here the same logic will be used. Whenever we have blood, if I see through microscope, we can see RBC, red blood corpuscle, white blood corpuscles, lot of protein molecules, fat molecules. We can see that using microscope, right? So that's why blood will be considered as heterogeneous. Clear? Yes, blood cells. Very good. Acha, now is asking kerosene water. Bolo, kerosene water is homogeneous or heterogeneous? Kerosene water. Acha, Bindu, I am considering you have 500 gram sand, 500 ml water you are adding, but still you have to think each and every particle will get the same. See, from outside we can see that all particles, that wet sand we will get, but you have to check each particle, they are getting the same amount of water or not. Why I am saying, you can see this example, milk. From outside we can see, yes, milk, it is pure, liquid, uniform, everywhere we will get the same taste, but actually it is heterogeneous. Blood, we can see that red color everywhere, so it is heterogeneous because inside lot of particles will be there, that same composition will not be there. If you consider sand, if you add water, since this is the main logic, listen carefully, since sand molecules, sand particles, they do not dissolve in water, since sand particles do not dissolve in water, that's why it will form heterogeneous. Say sugar water, salt water, they dissolve in water, but sand, it does not dissolve in water, right? That is the main reason why sand water is heterogeneous. I hope now it is clear. Acha, kerosene water, kerosene water, it is by default heterogeneous now. Kerosene oil we say, right? Here you can see oil and water. So kerosene oil and water, if you mix, obviously you will get heterogeneous. Achha, last question, very very important question. Let's see who can answer. Chalk powder and water mixture. Chalk powder and water mixture, homogeneous or heterogeneous? Chalk powder and water mixture. Abhay, very good, correct. Bilvani, you have to think. Avani, correct. MNK, correct. Mayuk, correct. Vishneshwar, correct. Jamali, correct. All Pranay, think again. Vijayawala, correct. Avijay, correct. Pranay, think again. Most of you answered correctly. See, chalk powder does not dissolve in water. If you add chalk powder in water, it will make a mixture. From outside we can see, okay, it is a uniform solution, we can see like that, but actually the same reason we have here, it does not dissolve in water. If something does not dissolve in water, by default it will be called heterogeneous. So chalk powder, it does not dissolve in water, that's why it is heterogeneous. Correct? These three are very, very important example. Those fruit juice, alloy, then blood, chalk powder, milk, these are all famous example. Okay, only 10 questions are remaining, so we will discuss next class. Then after that we will do revision. Acha, I'm asking another, since 2 minutes time still pending, so I'll ask one more last question. It is 18 more, 1 more minute we have. Acha, just 1 minute now. Okay, chalo, next class we will discuss. Acha, whatever I discussed today, only few questions, and this impure substance, homogeneous, heterogeneous, this thing we have discussed. You tell me, have you understood? Be honest, okay? Have you understood this concept clearly? Just write in the chat box or give thumbs up. Have you understood today's class? Write in the chat box. Okay, next class we will revise, we will revise all of this through question answer, okay? Okay, just revise whatever you have written. So next class we will study all of that. So this is enough for today. Chalo, thank you.
वहां से start करते हैं. Okay, good morning everyone. How are you all? So basically, my name is Dr. Gunjan and I will take your classes from here, right? So I think you all have gone through the soil profile as well as the basic characteristics related to the soil. That has been completed, what I know. From here, we have to start, that is soil erosion and conservation. What is erosion and what is conservation, that we will discuss today in the class, right? Whatever the questions or the queries you have, you can ask, right? Erosion means something which is having a bad impact on soil, correct? Something which is having a bad impact. And conservation means something we are preventing or saving it from, okay? Some prevention, something which we are saving it from. So that we need. That is soil prevention. So done. Right? So now, soil erosion. Soil erosion occurs when the topsoil is removed. Now, what is there in the topsoil? I want the answers from you all, that what is there in the topsoil. You have to reply me quickly. Everyone, what is there in the topsoil? According to the soil profile, what you all have read, you have to tell me what is there. Organic matter, nutrients, okay, what else? Humus, okay. Why you have written O horizon? Anybody can reply quickly. Quick answers. Quick answers. Okay, minerals. So basically something. So can I conclude with all your answers that topsoil is something which supports plant growth, as well as provide fertility to soil. Can I conclude it like this? I am asking you all have to tell me, question mark, this is a question mark. Can I write it like that? Huh? What D? I didn't ask you any question, no? What D? Okay. Okay. Fine. Correct. Okay. Something which provides fertility. Yes, obviously having fertility, that means they hold some quantity of water, they hold air as well, right? So that is there. Correct. So now coming back to the definition, that soil erosion means something which is occurring in the topsoil. So first of all, the area or the region that it is coming in, what it is happening in the topsoil. Okay, done. Now why it is happening? Why? The reasons. Obviously in the class, while we will continue, you will understand that what are the reasons. But still, as of for now, the reasons are wind, water and human activities. How? We will verify it. I will justify you by the end of the class. Yes, I know that you all have completed this portion, but after this we have to start. So just a quick recap so that we can continue and we can start. Okay? I know. Right. Human activity, water and wind. It can result in loss of soil fertility since it was providing fertility. So justified that it, because there is some problem in that, it will give what? Loss in the soil fertility. After that, desertification. What is desertification? Desertification means something which makes dry, okay, which makes the soil dry. And if the soil is dry, there is no water holding capacity. If there is no water holding capacity, obviously the vegetation will be affected, right? After that, habitat destruction. Obviously, it doesn't support organisms to live. It won't support for live. It's not there, right? Understood? Okay, fine. I think from this, for exams up till now, whatever we have covered, including the soil erosion and conservation, this will come. So whole chapter, whole soil chapter will come, right? Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay. So soil erosion and conservation. Now soil conservation techniques. We have to understand what we understood, that what is soil erosion. Now what we have to understand? We have to understand that how to conserve, how to save, how to avoid and how to prevent. Okay. So the conservation techniques, it includes first of all what? Contouring flowing. Contouring flowing means there is some boundary, and at that boundary what you will do? You will plow to create the boundary. As soon as you will plow and create the boundary, it doesn't allow the water to spill out. That is one thing which will be happening. Okay, flowing along the contour lines of the land to reduce water runoff. As I said that there will be contouring, means some margins are prepared. You know what is flowing? Flowing means to abruptly or to quickly just disintegrating or dismantling the soil, topsoil profile. Okay, just shuffling it down, layering. Okay, right? Okay. Fine. By the end of the class, it will be told to you that when your exam is there and how you have to prepare and what question, means what chapter, what portion will come. Okay. So be relaxed for that part. As of for now, yes, you have to write from here. I think till previous slide it has been written in your notebooks. From here you all have to write. From here you all have to write. Okay. Fine. So contouring line of the land to reduce what? First of all, the water runoff, it will prevent, and thus it prevents what? The soil erosion. That is first thing. So first, contouring, it is there. Okay. Yes, Akshara. Yes, obviously I can see, that's why I am responding it to you. Okay. Fine. Okay. Terracing. What is terracing? Terracing is something which can be done on the slopes. First thing. Okay. How does it done? See, if the slope is slant, if it is slant, and if there is a wind or if there is a water, rainfall, so it will wash away the soil from the upside to down. Okay. It will wash away. If there is certain splash of water, okay, with a high speed, what it will do? It will run away, wash away the topsoil. So what should be done? There should be something which is known as stepping. One thing which is known as stepping. What we will do? We will make a steps. Some stepping needs to be done. That is terracing, basically on the slopes. Okay, like this. Okay. So this kind of stepping or layering we will do so that there will be a friction. See, if something is very smooth, with the force, the water will spill away, correct? But if there are some frictions which are present, if there is something abrupt, for example, if you are going on a smooth road, obviously your speed will be uniform, obviously it will not be disinterrupted. But whenever there are some bumps, whenever there are some not good good roads which are constructed, it is not smooth, it is rough. So in that case, obviously, due to that, your brake, you have to apply the brake. In that, the speed will be disturbed and it will be non-uniform. And so the effect or the impact, that will be very less. Okay, that will be very less. Okay, fine. Okay. So, terracing. You all got the PDF. If you got the PDF, then don't need to write. It's okay. What ma'am has instructed, you can work accordingly. Okay. If you got the PDF, no problem. Right? Okay. Fine. Now, creating step platforms on steep land to reduce what? Water runaway. That is also fine. We have discussed. Now, agroforestry. What is agro? Agro means something related to agriculture. Okay. Forestry means something related to forest. By the term, we can only understand this much. Okay, we can only understand this much. For the later thing, we will go into the detailing. That is planting trees along with crops. Okay, what do they do with the crop? Because see, the crop doesn't have that deep roots, but plants do have. Trees have the deep roots. So if they have a deep roots, what they will do? They will hold the soil. They will hold the soil more firmly. If they will hold the soil more firmly, then in that case, what will happen? It might prevent, I'm not saying full sure, but might they prevent little bit of soil erosion, and they can, what they can do? They can help little bit to stabilize the soil. Okay. So they stabilize the soil. How? By planting more trees. So the contouring, boundary, creating the boundary over the land, terracing, it is there on the slopes, and agroforestry, wherever the trees can be planted along with crops, that should be done. So right, so it is done and it improves the soil fertility. How it will improve the soil fertility? Because if the trees are present, they will also provide minerals. They have the roots. They will also provide minerals, right? So two things, okay? Two things that can be done, okay? Fine. Then now the next thing is cover cropping. Planting crops that cover the soil to prevent what? Erosion and add organic matter. Now see, this is just to prevent what? Wind erosion. This is just to prevent what? Wind erosion. Okay. There's nothing but to prevent wind erosion. Right? For preventing wind erosion, it can be there because see, if it is all covered, then if it is all covered, then obviously it doesn't allow wind to take away the soil. The soil erosion via wind can be prevented. Okay. So like that. Okay. Fine. Now, okay, this has been also told to you all. Okay, understood. Okay, fine. So you all know about the carbon sequential, water filtration and biodiversity. Okay, right. This also has been done. So its role in the ecosystem. Fine. This is done. Soil pollution. Soil pollution is what? It is the contamination of the soil with the harmful substances. This is also done in your class. Okay, as I can see. Right. Okay. So you all have completed soil erosion also. Okay. Okay. Soil erosion is also completed. Fine. Soil pollution. Okay. So from soil pollution, the causes of soil pollution. So now the causes of soil pollution can be either the human cause, either it can be natural. Okay, fine. So if it is related to human activities, okay, then it is a man-made. Then it is a man-made problem which can be controlled, because natural activities we cannot control, but man-made activities at least we can control, or we can have some alternatives for that. Okay. So the first thing, that is human activity that can lead soil pollution. How? First of all, the industrial waste. Industries, obviously, man or the humans are using the industrial industries. They are the person, those who are operating the industries. So what they do, nearby the landfills, nearby the area wherever it is present surrounding the industries, what is there, what they will do, they discharge the hazardous waste. Okay, so waste, whatever will be the chemicals which will be released from the industries, that will be directly washed away either into the water bodies or into the nearby landfills. Okay, so that particular landfills will have soil, so that soil will be corrupted, that will be contaminated. So that is one thing. Okay, so basically metals, other chemicals and the solvents which can directly go into the soil, right? Other than this, there are some agriculture activities also. How does agriculture activities, okay, since you all have read, you all tell me, since you all have read, you all tell me that how does agriculture activities are creating a problem? How it is creating a problem, tell me. Everyone, since you all have read, so you only have to tell me, right? That how it is creating a problem. Tell me, quickly. Everyone. Pesticides, okay, what are pesticides? That also you have to answer now. What are pesticides? What are pesticides? Okay. Okay, adding pesticides, everybody, good, good. Okay, overutilizing of the pesticides, okay. So basically what are pesticides? Pesticides are also the chemicals, okay. And these chemicals, what they will do, they will disturb the soil profile of the soil, correct? So in that case, the chemical disturbances will be there into the soil, right? So that can cause a problem. So agriculture is not a problem, but in the agriculture activity, to, you know, to satisfy the goal or the target, like this much target, this much vegetation should be there into my lands or like that. So what they do, they allow the pesticides, okay. And these pesticides, obviously, they help not to spoil the food or something or from outside, but chemically that is polluted, okay, that is polluted. Yes, fertilizers as well as what? The pesticides. Yes, irrigation also, very good. Who told irrigation? Yes, Anvi, very good point. Even the irrigation is also a problem. Irrigation, what kind of irrigation? See, if the proper water, right, if there is a wastewater and that water is discharged into the fields, then that is a problem. Over irrigation means what? It will suffocate the soil, and thus it will suffocate the plants or the soil there. It will obviously disrupt their erosion or disturb their profile, correct? Okay, fine. So the next thing, improper waste disposal. This we are talking about, okay, waste, water, okay. So improper disposal of the plastics, paper, non-biodegradable substances, okay, basically the non-biodegradable materials, that can also lead to pollution. That is the prime factor. This is the prime factor, okay. Right, then landfills and open dumping. What does it do when, if there are, yes, artificial fertilizers are artificial only, natural fertilizers are not there, okay, fine. When we add pesticides, they go, yes, correct, everyone, very good, Abhiram, Lakshmi, very good, yeah, poor quality of water, rather using poor quality of water, you should use the word that contaminated water, okay. Poor quality of water is what? Contaminated water, okay. So you can use that terminology better, okay, Lohit. Okay, everyone, yes, good. Acid rain is also one reason, yes, true, okay, yes, Rishan, you can write your questions, okay. Aradhya, yes, Aradhya, since you have the PDF and your ma'am has instructed not to write, it's fine if you are just learning and if you are hearing. If you have the PDF, no problem, okay, fine. Can lead to soil pollution, and landfills as well as the open dumping also contributes. Why? Because in the open dumping, all these waste will be directly discarded, disposed, and it will be open. Then in that case, the proper degradation of these materials are not possible. Since the degradation is not proper, because of that, because the degradation is not proper, what is happening? Soil pollution will be there, okay. So degradation of water is not possible, degradation of the substances is not possible, right. Urbanization and construction is good, right. when the city is developing, it is good, correct? Then why it is a problem for the soil? Why it is a problem for the soil? Tell me quickly. Why it is a problem? Tell me quickly. Quickly, tell me. Why urbanization and construction is a problem? Construction is good, right? We obviously judge the city development, how much they are constructed. If there are good buildings, if there are good malls, if there are good roads, then these things are good for the city, right? It is overall developing the city. Then why it is a problem? It is written right away here. You all have to just reply. It takes our forest, correct? It takes the forest. On the cost of that forest, what is developing, the construction is getting place. Now, because the forests are removed, what does forest have? Forest have the trees. And what does trees have? That old trees have longer roots, okay, deep. Roots are very deep. And since there are roots, what does they do? They hold water, one thing. They hold water. Other than that, obviously they hold the soil. Obviously they hold the soil also. And thus there are minerals, thus it promotes vegetation, thus it promotes plantation and all. Correct? But what happens suddenly if these are vanished, if these are removed? Since it is removed, then what will happen? There will be barren land. Now this barren land, since there are no roots, okay? There are no roots to hold the water. There are no roots to hold the soil. So in that case, what will happen? In that case, the land will be barren. And since the land is barren, what will be there? How this land got barren? Because soil is not hold. The holding capacity of the soil is lost. Now, since it is lost, what happened? It washed away. Either by heavy rain, it is washed away. That could be one reason. Or through wind. Okay? Or through wind, it was runoff. Since it is runoff, since the topsoil is removed, what will happen? Since it is runoff, topsoil is removed, what will happen? It will cause the land barren. And since the land is barren, there will be fertility which will be on the cost. And since the fertility on the cost, it is not good for the soil. It is not good for the soil. Right? Right? Yes. Basically our environment. Yes, it dries the land. Correct. Correct everyone. Good, Ritvik. Yes. Yes, correct. Okay. Yes, you can write. Yes, you can write. Okay. If you are writing, you can write. Okay. I'm giving you 2 minutes, you can write. Yes, taking more space than needed and disturbing the agriculture fields. Correct. Yes, Abhiram, good. When we build buildings, they prevent water to go into the soil, correct? Which make them fertile. We can cut many trees to build houses. These pollute the soil. It doesn't pollute the soil, but basically it is not allowing the soil to remain there, okay? It will wash away the soil, okay? So that will be a better answer. Right, everyone. Okay, good. Good, everyone. Good. Okay. So up till here, it is clear? Is it clear? Shall we move further? Those who are writing, I hope they have written. Okay. Right. Now mining activities. Okay. So for example, mining activities, what will happen? Mining. See again, it is just similar to the industrial waste. There will be the chemicals which will be released. Okay. There will be chemicals which will be released. Since the chemicals are released, it is again contaminating the soil. Mining operation including coal and metal extraction. Metals are what? Metals, heavy metals, right? You all have read in the previous slide, that was industrial waste. Okay. So results in what? Soil pollution due to results of heavy metal. Here also it comes. Okay. Heavy metal, toxic chemicals, correct. We all have read. And mining byproducts. Whenever there will be mining, some chemicals will be released. Okay. That gases will be released. That gases, that minerals, not minerals, but the heavy metals and the toxic chemicals that will be released. With the also there will be minerals extraction, no doubt, in the mining. Mining is good, but that mining is causing the problem to the natural environment or to the ecosystem. Correct? That is a problem. Okay. So basically, development is also a problem for the natural, resources. It is a problem. So that should be done in a justified manner, in a calculative manner. overdoing of all these things with the vigorous time, okay, that can create a problem. That can create a problem. Okay. Yes. Yes, everyone. Okay, fine. Okay, next. Soil pollution. Next part is, yeah, basically they have concised the thing. Macroplastics, plastic bags, if they are getting disposed in the open landfills, that is a problem. Deforestation, that is also a problem. Deforestation is a problem. Then pesticides. You all have told me about pesticides as well as about fertilizers. Since you all are reading very nicely, you learn, and so you are telling it to me, right? So fertilizers are also a problem. Then microplastic, yes, obviously microplastic or macroplastic doesn't matter, but it is a problem. Plastic itself is a problem. Why plastic is a problem? Because it cannot be degraded. So non-biodegradable terminology is what we use for that. So non-biodegradable, right? Heavy metals, heavy metals. See, now the names of the heavy metals that you all have to see. That is, on the top it is lead, okay? Lead is the heavy metal. Other than lead, there will be aluminum, arsenic, cadmium and mercury. Mercury and lead are the most common or the heavy metals which are released, which can create toxicity. So if there is a question related to this, then you have to mark the answer. Okay, so you have to learn for it. Okay, you have to learn for it, right? Okay, fine. Moving further, natural causes. Now see, we have learned about man-made or the human activity which were creating the problem. Okay, we learned about it. We learned about man-made activities, correct? About man-made or human-made, correct? Man-made or human-made activities we learned. We already learned. Okay, that is done. Now coming to the natural causes. What are the natural causes? The natural causes, the first thing is volcanic eruption. In volcanic eruption, there are the gases and there are the ashes, which are what? Which are released. Okay, obviously there will be much heat which will be released. With that heat, there will be the gases and there will be certain ash, okay, which will be there, since it is a kind of a fire. Okay, so volcanic ash as well the gases, which will what? Which will contaminate the chemical organization of the soil. Chemical organization of the soil, or you can say what? You can say that chemical composition. Okay, so chemical composition which will create what? Contamination of the soil. Okay, there will be contamination. Okay, so chemical composition of soil leading to temporary or long-term soil contamination. So whenever over-utilization or the excessive utilization of the chemicals are there, the terminology which will be used is soil contamination. So there will be soil contamination. Yes, very good. Sai Chatura. Okay, good. Yes, all these activities will cause a problem. Okay, now heavy rainfall, that is also a natural. Can you control rainfall? Can you control flooding? Can you control volcanic eruptions? No, right? That's why it is what? That's why it is what? Man-made, not man-made. Okay, this is something which is natural. Man-made is something which can be controlled, but it cannot be controlled. Okay, so it is not man-made, this is natural. The second thing in the natural is heavy rainfall as well as flooding. Now heavy rainfall and flooding, since the heavy pressure will be there, heavy rainfall and all mountainous regions, what will be there? It will wash away the soil. Okay, it will wash away the topsoil. Okay, that will be the correct line. So excessive rainfall will wash contaminants from the other sources like agriculture chemicals, urban runoff, okay, into the soils. Okay, they are telling it vice versa. With the heavy rainfall, the contamination will go to the soil. That is also a reason, or otherwise it can wash it away. So these two are the reasons. Either the topsoil is eroded or either the topsoil is polluted. Heavy rainfall can cause two things. See, soil erosion is different. Okay, and soil pollution is different. Okay, there are two different terminologies. Soil is there, but it is polluted. Okay, soil eroded, that means it went away. So there are two different terminologies, and in both the terminologies, heavy rainfall can create problem. Heavy rainfall plus deforestation. Heavy rainfall plus deforestation. This can create the problem. Okay, so heavy rainfall as well as deforestation, this can create definitely a problem to you. Okay, fine. Why can we only control man-made act but can't control? See, natural causes to an extent you can control. How you can control? You can control the man-made activities. Man-made activities are indirectly causing the natural calamities. Correct? Correct? Since if there are good resources which are available, natural environment is available, ecosystem is maintained, then natural calamity will limit itself. Okay? Correct? Yes, Bilwani. Now you understood? We can control. Yes, landslides. Yes, obviously. Nishit. Yes, landslides also. Right. Okay. So types of soil pollutants. Now see, soil erosion and soil pollution, you know. You have the brief idea that what is soil erosion and what is soil pollution. Now what are pollutants? See, whatever were the causes of soil pollution, that will create the pollutant. Pollutant means the exact reason for that particular soil pollution. Okay. So pollutant can be categorized into the following type. The first type is chemical pollutants. Now tell me the chemical pollutants. How can you escape the flood? Flood is all over now. Where you will escape and where you will run off? Huh? Where you will run off from the flood? It's not possible. It will destruct overall the buildings, overall environment, everything. How will you run off from that? Okay. Someone should come to escort you out from there. Okay. Fine. Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay. So chemical pollutants like, see, I told you, lead, arsenic, what else? Lead, arsenic, as well as one more I told you now. Very common, that is mercury. Okay. It is not written here, but you all can write. Pesticides as well as herbicides, they can cause. Fertilizers, excessive use of chemical fertilizers. It will create what? It will create soil contamination. It can create soil contamination. Right? Right? Okay. Fine. Industrial chemicals like solvents, paints, as well as other chemicals that are used in the industries, and it is leaked. Correct? It is leaked. Okay. Okay. Fine. Contaminating it and making it toxic for what? Toxic it for the plant growth as well as for human health. How human health is directly getting affected or it is impacted? Human health. Nothing related to human health. You doesn't grow into the soil. Then what is the problem? Tell me. What is the problem? Since these plants are consumed by human, these chemicals are accumulating in the body of the humans also. That's why whenever something is having pesticides or fertilizers, that food quality is obviously different. That is less qualified for the eating, okay, less suggested for the eating rather than a natural or the organic food. Correct? So that is the problem. So it is indirectly creating a problem to humans also. Okay? Fine. Okay. Next thing, physical pollutants. What are physical pollutants? Physical means something you are giving. You are giving to the environment, so we give them. We give the plastic waste. Why? Because we don't have a proper disposal methods for it, but we are very addicted to use all those materials, to all those plastics, okay? And since plastic is something which is non-biodegradable, it is creating a problem. Right? So non-biodegradable plastic, it accumulates into the soil because it is disposed into the soil. Since it is disposed into the soil, it will be accumulated because it cannot degrade itself and it will block air and water from reaching the plant. Now because the water or the air is not reaching to the plants or to the soil, it will suffocate the plant, right? And it can affect the soil organism there, because soil organisms are living because of the environment which is provided in the soil. That is, they depend on the water and the mineral content which is present into the soil. Why? Because these soil organisms, they do chemoautotrophs. These are what? They do chemoautotrophs. Means they intake what? They take chemoautotrophic nutrition. Now chemo is something which is related to chemicals. So the chemicals which are present in the soil, with the help of that they make their own food. Food is prepared on their own. Okay, so it will be affected. It will be affected, right? Okay, fine. So the next thing, construction debris. Construction debris, waste from construction materials such as concrete, again, concrete, metal. This is a problem, okay? And glass can lead soil pollution. This you all know. This you all know. This is not something which I am telling you some, extra, something new. But I am just aligning the lines, okay? Aligning the lines means, okay, there is something which is plastic waste. There is something which is construction debris. Debris means what? Debris is something which is accumulated. Okay. So something which is accumulated over the soil fields. Okay. Fine. Now, biological pollutants. Biological pollutants means the pathogens. Pathogens, microorganisms. See, microorganisms are good. They are our friends. Okay. But they can be our enemies also. So the bad microorganisms, bad bacteria which are creating the problem to the plants, okay, which are giving diseases to the plant, that kind of pathogens, okay, pathogens which cause diseases are, means microorganisms which cause diseases are known as what? Pathogens, okay. So microorganisms such as bacteria, virus and fungi introduced through human, animals, okay, or sewage waste can pollute the soil. How they are coming? How they are coming into the soil? They are coming from us only, from plants only, from the microorganisms only, right? Okay. Now, I want the answer for these questions. Overusage. Overusage. Overusage of chemical fertilizers can cause. Just now, like 5 minutes before only, I told that terminology to you all. Yes, you all can answer. Soil pollution. Soil pollution can be done by many ways. Okay, why chemical fertilizers they mentioned? Overusage of chemical fertilizers. Soil pollution, right? But can you write it more properly? That is soil contamination. Can we write it like that? Can we write it like that? You all have to tell me. Tell me. Okay, good. Right. What is the example of biological pollutants? Biological pollutants were the bad microorganisms or the correct. Very good. Yes. Okay. Micro. Yes. 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 Good. Good, Varshit. Yes. Okay. Yes. Now, what is natural soil pollution? Tell me. Natural soil pollution. Volcanic eruption. Yes. Good. Good. Very good. Okay. Adhya, Venkatesha. Okay. Very good. Very good, everyone. Okay. Right. Okay. Soil pollution can have severe consequences on the ecosystem. What is ecosystem? Ecosystem means the place where we are living together. Place which is having abiotic plus biotic factor. Biotic means something which is living, like humans, like plants, like animals, and abiotic means something which is non-living but the resources. For example, water, air, soil, all those things. So the balance of abiotic and biotic factors makes the ecosystem. Ecosystem means something which is working in harmony, okay, which is working together, right? Which is working together, right? Okay, so impact on plant growth, soil fertility is lost, okay, soil pollution can severely impact the soil organisms, so that it can disrupt the habitat as well as it can create a problem. It will be the cause for loss of biodiversity because the organisms, soil organisms which were living into the soil, they are relying on the soil is contaminated. Now where they will go? Their habitat is lost. Habitat is their home, okay, home for that organism, that is lost. That is lost, okay. It can be affected by that, and since it got lost, so it is directly affecting the biodiversity, okay. Impact on human health, obviously that can be toxic. I told you, we can, if we consume that contaminated water or contaminated food which is produced in that soil, but that soil is having pesticides and all, what will happen? Yes, 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 I can explain it again. See what I was telling it to you. What I was telling it to you, I will explain it again, no problem with that part, okay. Right. See, we are discussing that soil pollution is there, correct? Now this soil pollution, there will be some impact on the life also, right? So what will be the problem? The problem will be ecosystem. Ecosystem means a balanced relation between biotic and abiotic factors. Biotic and abiotic factors. Okay, so there is a relation between biotic and abiotic factors. Now what will happen? This relationship will be disturbed. Why? Because the abiotic factor that is soil that is polluted. Since it is polluted, it will cause the problem to the organisms that are living into the soil. Okay, so that is also a problem, right? So it can create a problem and it can disrupt their habitat. Habitat is something which is a home, okay? Right? Yes, Bilwani. Now you understood? I hope. Is it? Okay, good, fine. So now the impact on human health, okay? The impact on the human health, okay? Toxicity through the food chain. Why? Toxicity. Food chain means what? One organism will eat another organism. Now organism can be plant, can be animal. Okay, organism can be plant, can be animal. Okay. So what will happen? One organism is eating the another organism, correct? So what will happen? It can contaminate. Either they are directly consuming, so chemicals which are accumulated in their body can go to the next level. That could be a problem. Water contamination is also a problem. Water is contaminated. One thing we are taking, like the water bodies or something, we are taking the water from it, so it can contaminate our bodies also, our human health also, right? Environmental impact, loss of soil quality. Now soil quality is lost. What is the problem? What is the problem with the soil quality if it is lost? Okay, see, if the soil quality is lost, it will create problem with the fertility. If there is a problem with the fertility, vegetation will be affected. Vegetation is affected, right? Vegetation is affected, right everyone? Right everyone? Everyone, yes, tell me. Fine? Fine? Okay, no problem. Yes, you can write, I can give you a previous slide. Okay, yes. Fine, quickly write. Yes, where is your ma'am? That is your question, right? Ma'am is here only, right? Okay, yes, I know time is done. You just note down the things, no problem. You note down the things. Okay, note down the things, no problem. Okay, quickly write this down. Yes, Dhruti, you can leave, no problem. Yes, you can leave. Whosoever has done, fine, no problem. Okay, bye beta, bye. Yes, Haricharan, bye. Bye, Rutvika. Yes, good day to you, Venkatesh. Good day. Okay. Yes, exam details. Exam detail is the complete chapter. Soil, complete chapter. Okay. I think 26th April. That is Saturday. You have your exam Saturday. Still, I will confirm it and tell it to you in the next class. But Saturday. What I know, mostly it is Saturday. Okay. Bye everyone. Bye. Have good day. Okay. No, why holiday tomorrow? No holiday tomorrow. It's a class, regular class. Okay. Okay. Yes, only soil. Hanspi, only soil. Exam format will be MCQ pattern beta. So it will be MCQs, okay? It will be MCQs. It is a kind of a part test, okay? So all the subjects will come like biology, physics, chemistry, as well as maths, okay? Which will be there. Okay, marks, it will be 300. Okay, each question 4 number, each question 4 marks, each question 4 marks, right? So, question 15, 15, 15 and then 20, right? It will be like this. Okay, everyone? Okay, yes, we will tell it to you. Okay, fine. Okay, yeah, about the Google Form and all, you can ask, the coordinators will reply to you. Okay, yes, beta, only MCQs. If you will attempt it wrong, negative marking, or otherwise no negative marking. That's it. Okay, that is the thing. Right. Okay, everyone. Thank you, everyone.